I could put AirPods in
No,
if
no,
that
not
helps.
not for you. Like generally, my
Oh,
output isn't mixed well,
oh,
but I don't.
okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go live then. Let's get the link. Oh, uh, say hello. Do the intros. There we go. And dropping the link on Twitter while this intro is playing. They can hear me talk about it too if anybody's watching here. I'm talking over the introduction. Here we go. Hello, good morning. Did you get that thing I posted on Twitter?
There it is.
Very cool. All right, so I'm gonna pop this up, drop this bad boy in a couple of places. We're live right now, but that's just how it goes. Okay. Oh, it looks like we have a couple of people already tuned in. I think this is gonna be great. Okay. Uh, so we're live. I believe we have a chat here. I'm here today with Sam. We are gonna talk about all kinds of really cool stuff. Primarily things that hopefully I don't know about because I don't know much about anything. I have a special treat today. I'm doing Reese's and honeycomb and Red Bull. So we're trying to make sure that we start off balanced so we crash hard later. Sam, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
So I don't know. I'm a bit of a weird dude, I guess.
Are you?
Yeah, I rap. So I'm in a group called So Loki, and we've been doing this for a while now. We make fuck the system music basically. And I don't know. I kind of just like I like to create shit, and like I have like a group of like 4 or 5 people in my group right now that are just like I don't know, like can we 3D print something or make a shirt or fucking I don't know anything weird that I can do. I'm trying to do that, so that's what I do, I guess.
That's awesome. You know what? I think it's the coolest part about that is that I think I'm getting you through my. I'm getting you through my your mic, me through your mic. Okay, there we go. The coolest part about this kind of stuff is like I didn't even know who you guys were until we just ran into each other somewhere. What Java forums, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we were browsing around the
Um,
metaverse, and it seems like I don't know. Just we started talking, hanging out,
yeah,
shooting the shit.
it's random. It's funny because one of the guys that I work with super closely is Chrome Destroyer, another guy that's like in the Java Forms world and randomly knows you as well. So this is
Yeah,
like,
it was
yeah,
weird.
very small world.
Yeah, I was digging around and I was like, I I I saw I think you shared something that Chrome had done, but I don't know. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that constantly goes around. I'm like, oh, that was cool. It's like, oh, suddenly you're connected to these people, and then it's like, oh wow,
Yeah,
these songs are kind of really cool, and these videos look awesome, and like, how does this all tie together? And suddenly, it's kind of weird. It's like this weird digital bohemian, like warehouse vibe thing where it's like a bunch of creatives coming from different I mean, obviously you guys are all based locally somewhere, but like just the different connections that have just come out of that what you're 5 people there. Like I'm still discovering people.
yeah,
Like people have been messaging and commenting on my stuff, and like I've been having back and forth with them. Still didn't realize they were related to, your
yeah.
little band of people.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Like and like we only just got into sort of like the crypto sector of the world really recently in the past couple months, through one of our homies, Steve Skimchi, and like it's just so interesting because it feels like it snowballs and there's like, I'm meeting 10, 12 people that know another 10 people that are all suddenly connected, and I'm only really part of the music community outside of this, so to see this and how quickly everyone's connected and how everyone's connected, so crazy, man.
Yeah, it's wild. And actually, I think Steve, is that who you mentioned?
Yeah, yeah.
I just made that connection last night, like right before
Oh,
lying in bed. I was like, who is this guy? Because
yeah,
he kept popping up on my stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, now I guess yeah, it's really cool.
yeah, man.
I think one of the cool parts about this has been talking about anime with you mostly. I mean,
Yeah.
It's fun to be able to pretend to be this old man that's like, "Yeah, have you watched all these 80s and 90s animes?" And it's like, well, I mean, you probably had as many opportunities to as I have.
Yeah.
What would you say your top 5 of all time are?
Oh man. Um See, and this is funny because I only realized recently that I might be normie core anime, just like a little bit, and my sister's been saving me, but like Dragon
What
Ball
is
Z is
normie
up
core anime for everybody
there. Like
out there?
I feel like the normie core was like anything that sounded fire in English. Like Dragon Ball Z was pretty decent in English, so that's up there for me.
Yeah.
But anything that sounds trash in English is like the good anime, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I'd put Dragon Ball Z up there. I put Bleach up there, just because that definitely, like, I think that hit me at an age when like I wanted to just dress like that and be like these fucking killers all the time. I loved I loved Host Club. There's something about it. I only went through it once, but it's definitely got a place for me. And then
Host Club is great.
it is. It was different. I think it was like a palate cleanser for me a bit. Um,
It's funny too. I mean, and it's one of these that it's not. I think what's been dripping into anime since, I mean, around the time Host Club came out, but
mhm.
like I'd say 2008 is like the tropes, the balance on like trope, like the focus on it has just really become so exaggerated that like basically anything that you're gonna pull up that's a new season of something, you're like, okay, well this is this character,
Mhm.
this character, this character, and
Yeah,
the jokes they make are very timely towards like what's going on within the past like year versus like timeless
exactly.
jokes. And Host Club
Yeah,
is funny today, still funny.
exactly. Yeah, and it was relatable. It had a lot of like just nice emotional moments.
Yeah, it's good.
Um, I'd also put Hunter x Hunter up there just because I'm going through it right now, so it definitely has a spot in my heart too. Um, and oh god, I don't even know what else. Maybe
I think my stream's dying.
ah, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a hard for fifth.
I think I'm losing my stream. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can
Mhm,
fix what's going on here because
mhm.
it's just the machine working against us, man. Or maybe this Soloki video in the background that it's on the loop.
There you go.
Okay, maybe it's working. Is it back? Is it cool? Okay, saying Vampire Hunter D. Have you seen that before?
No, I haven't.
That's a classic. That's an older one. That's a '90s one. It's pretty good. I mean, it's dark.
Mm,
It's a little more macabre, as they would say. Um,
oh, shoot.
I don't think that's a normie core list. I think what happens is that everybody knows DBZ because it's just infiltrated all of like pop culture across the
Mhm.
globe. But like, it's because it's good, right? I mean, or
It's
people
true.
people say it is. I like it, but I also haven't
Yeah.
watched any of the new stuff. And then the rest of that stuff, like, I don't know. I mean, I think each one is niche to their own. I don't do so much shonen anymore because
Mhm.
I don't know, Bleach. This was my point. Like I liked Bleach, and there Bleach I watched like hundreds of episodes of, and then we hit like this weird block of filler again. And I mean, this is an excuse everybody
Uh,
has, right? Like when they drop something, but it's like if this is just
yeah.
shonen from now on, I'm just gonna stick to the seasonal. Uh, well,
It makes sense. Yeah, the filler does kill it. Like, I love how dramatic animes can be and how much they want to string you on and how much they took from just dramas.
hmm
But like, sometimes they're going through 5 episodes of flashbacks and it hurts. And
yeah.
I'm a committer, which is bad. Like, I'll still watch those episodes and try and hustle through it. But I don't know, man.
What's your I got a question from the chat for you. It's what's your
Mhm.
favorite DBZ arc or saga? Or sorry.
Oh man. I think it's hard, but I want to say Cell Saga. There's something about Gohan having to sort of like take his father's, take the lead on the whole thing that really hit for me. And second would probably be Frieza Saga. just because when he does that Spirit Bomb, that's like 3 to 5 episodes of
Yeah.
Spirit Bomb, but that shit slapped, absolutely slapped.
Yeah. It was funny you mentioned the Cell Saga stuff. The guy who asked the question in the chat, I was actually talking to the other day, and he's a super huge DBZ fan. And he
Mm.
keeps me up to date with it, so I don't have to watch it, which is important to me. But we're talking about that whole Gohan thing about like how Gohan had to go through this path to like do whatever, and he was telling me all this stuff with Toriyama wanted him to do stuff where Gohan kind of took over, and then um, apparently it didn't happen, and then they turned Gohan into a clown because you know, after that whole saga. So it was like interesting that he was such a badass, and then he turns into Saiyaman like
It,
the next thing.
it hurt. This Sandman, that's probably my lowest point in Dragon Ball Z. Just because like they did Gohan so dirty. They gave him the most beautiful arc. They set it up where like, he could have his own spin-off if they did it right. But Great Sandman is a tragedy.
Well, it happens.
It
Um,
does.
God, I'm like sweating. Whew, there's a lot of sugar in this thing. I'm gonna probably get in trouble later.
Yeah.
Like with
Yeah.
everybody in
You
my
feeling
life.
good? With
Huh?
the Reese's?
Oh yeah, it's just a lot of sugar. I don't. Whew. Yeah.
Mm. No.
You just dropped a song yesterday, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
and what would you say that song is entitled?
It's called Turn My Swag Up, and it's only about turning your swag up.
Well, I mean,
That's
I listened to it a few times, and I definitely got that it was about turning swag up, and I think it actually got me thinking because I was originally, and I'm gonna save this game for another time, but I don't want to. I'm gonna spoil it. I was gonna originally do Dragon Ball power ability things or so Loki song lyrics, but I think we're gonna save that one for another time. This time we're gonna actually do. You guys seem to know a little bit about swag.
yeah.
I would ask you, are there swag levels?
Oh, there's definitely swag levels. I mean, like, it's funny you say that because I was thinking about the other day just about like when I'm walking in public, everyone's really trying out there and in their own different way. Swag level one is definitely like entry level swag. There's that one piece, or you're feeling good about your hair that day. It's 1 out of 10. I feel like a good to high swag level is usually like you're feeling yourself. No one can tell you shit. You look in the mirror and you feel good, and you feel like yourself. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's you're walking around in the $2 t-shirt or you're going for like some helmet lang or something fancy, but like the second you feel good, everyone can tell, and you're sort of getting that energy. Top tier swag is when it's delusional swag. That is, you feel like you got the sauce. People don't even know if you got the sauce, but it's so insane that it just works. I definitely feel like that's like I'm definitely a delusional man myself. I average about 6 to 7 out of 10 delusional a day. So like, I try to keep the swag level high.
I actually watching through all of your videos as I was learning more about you guys, and then kind of like going through the spin-offs of like everybody's individual, like personal work. One of the things I thought
Mm-hmm.
was interesting is I'm suddenly noticing what even style is. I just dress like I've dressed since I was in 8th grade, where it's like jeans and a t-shirt every day, and I don't go
Yes.
outside enough to like realize that there's like this whole culture around. I don't know. You guys look badass. You guys are like really rocking a specific style out there that I have never seen before. Is that like is that a localized thing that you guys got going? Like are you the trendsetters, or are you picking up things across the board?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. We're definitely trendsetters here. Where we are, it's a lot of like everyone is like going on a hike, or because we're in Vancouver, it's Canada. Like
Yeah.
everyone's dressing just regular daily whatever. And I think for us, the whole thing is like, if we're gonna be out here doing outlandish shit, trying to do music as a job, do art as a job, you may as well do what you want. So I think now we're actually sort of getting the thing of like dress how you feel when you go outside, get a little crazy. I think people definitely look at us like we're some weird dudes a lot of the time, but like that's how everyone looks when they're starting. So yeah,
I think that's cool. Wanna I wanna touch real quick on your art, before I hop into the game today. And I'm taking forever. This is apparently turning into a more and more serious thing as I get more and more ill from this thing. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I might have to tap out. I'll eat one at a time. Anyway, um, so I've been watching a little bit of your NFT art experimentation stuff, and you've been doing a lot of work with these scans. And I'm curious.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm curious, like, what your vision is with some of that texture work because it's really interesting. It's like I'm not. I think I understand your process. Like you're using a mobile device to do 3D scans of certain
Mhm.
things, like overlaid, which creates like an interesting effect. But I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you're looking to do with, especially that Zora piece. I think that you've got.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I've been trying to figure out how to just use my phone for more stuff because I'm really bored. I've been getting bored over the past few years just with like art and with, just everything's too difficult. So when I got to finding out just the idea that you can 3D scan and for cheap enough, rate really for just pieces with your phone, the idea was kind of like, how do I make these, cool physical ideas I have in person something that someone could just have in their hand? Because like, I could go to an art gallery, but most people don't have the money to go to an art gallery and do some shit like that. So I think the whole idea is just like, what cool things do I own in my living space that I can put together and give someone, something that looks like it did, take 5 weeks to make and was thousands and thousands of dollars, but doing it in a way that's economical and also doesn't make me bored as shit.
Yeah.
And like, even with dropping the stuff on Zora, like the idea is, you scan it, you use 3 or 5 video editors that are just like apps on my phone, and then deliver something that doesn't look as boring as all the shit that everyone else is putting out, I guess.
I mean, I think that's awesome. Oh man, so I mean, I've got a million ideas about your texture stuff, and one day I'm sure I'll talk to you about it because I just can't stop talking to everybody at all times. It's really starting to destroy my life in a good way. So here's a game I've got today. We talked about DBZ, we talked about Shonen, and we talked about swag. And I think I threw a list of these top something shonen protagonists and rank them based on their swag levels. If you think you
Oh,
can, but
oh yeah.
I would love you to set a barometer though, just for everybody right off the bat. So Goku, like, where is he at on the levels?
Oh, Goku is like top tier swag. He's like a 9 out of 10 swag for sure.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, easy, easy.
awesome. So to juxtapose that, what about Krillin? Where's Krillin at?
Krillin is like he's got a 2 for a swag.
Okay.
He would have a 0, honestly, but he got with the android, and that definitely gave
Uh,
him bonus 2 swag. Easy.
Bonus 2 swag? Yeah, I mean, he kinda dresses like a dork too.
He
Um,
does.
what about, uh, what about Roshi?
Oh, see, Roshi got old man swag,
Old
so
man swag.
I'll give him an 8 out of
I'm
10.
gonna cover my food bowl, and we're gonna go through this site called, Ranker. I guess they rank things. It's ranker.com, so it's gotta be official.
Sure.
So, number 1 up, they have the top number 1 greatest shonen protagonist is Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. Now,
Oh,
what do you agree, 1, that he is the greatest protagonist, and 2, what his swag level would be if you're familiar with him?
not greatest protagonist, and I like a 6.5 swag, 6.5, 7.
Okay, alright. I think that's fair. I dropped that after about 200, episodes, but I think that, from what I could see, he definitely had some class. Um,
Yeah.
well, number 2, Naruto Uzumaki.
Oh, Jojo's got like an 8.5 swag for sure. Definitely.
Okay. What about Rock Lee?
Oh, Rock Lee is a straight 10.
Okay.
He
All
had
right.
the same haircut as his father. Easy.
Excellent. I like to hear that because I think that green is like, it's like if I could do it, if I could get away with it, that'd be me every day. But
Exactly.
I'm in Austin, Texas, so if I'm running around in like green sweats, like it's not like it's not gonna end well.
Yeah.
Have you seen what about Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist?
Oh, Edward Elric gets a 7 out of 10. He would have more, but he's like 2 feet tall.
He is a little short. Sucks for us
Very,
short guys out there, but
yeah,
we make up for it with our alchemy.
exactly. Short Kings rise up.
Yeah. Okay, I don't even know how to say the guy from Hunter x Hunter because I've never even watched it. I've only seen images of it. What's his name?
Um,
Gone?
Gone. You know what? 9.
9.
It's like teenage swag. Like for
Okay.
sure, teenage swag. Sticking up for people, delusional. Yeah.
I'm still eating this bowl of cereal, and no one on the stream can actually see that it's up because I'm covering myself with the viewer. I am torturing myself. And guys, I ate it all. It was so good. Now it's fun. Okay. Let's go. Let's do 2 more, and we'll call it. I don't know what his name is. Demon Slayer. You seen that show?
No, I
Okay, we'll
haven't.
skip him. Ichigo from Bleach.
Oh, Ichigo from Bleach, 10 out of 10.
10
10
out
out
of
of
10.
10. Attitude, outfit, absolutely swagging.
Excellent, man. You watch My Hero Academia?
No, but I've been recommended by several
You
people.
should. Yeah, because
Mm.
I don't watch shonen, but actually that's one that I watched up until the most recent season when I got burnt out on it. But at least gave me like
Oh,
4 seasons worth of entertainment, or 3, I think, where I was like really hyped up and drawn in. Problem is,
okay.
I'm gonna end the game and then we're gonna wrap this up so nobody has to listen to me all day. Problem I think is that these seasonal ones, like if they don't, it's almost a Netflix disease. Like if they just drop me a whole season of something and I blow through it, and the next season's not there, and then I got to jump back into it like a year later, it's very difficult. And even series I love, like JoJo, like I've read all the manga up to wherever it was in 2016, and like I've watched through all the show, but like after the fourth,
It's so funny. Even doing this, like, I actually like this because, like, most people that I interview are pretty trash. So you are nice. Actually, in an interview with Buddy Ryan the other day, it's amazing. But most of the other guys get me so bored because it's nothing I want to talk about. So I want to go, and I just want to know where to go. So,
yeah, I feel you. I mean, and you know what? I at least I came across as nice.
oh
Hopefully,
yeah,
hopefully you got to speak enough to feel like you got your worldview across. I mean, you're welcome to here in the end. I've still got Reese's I could. I'm not going to. It's gonna kill
you
me.
shouldn't.
No, yeah, it was a good shtick today, but that's a lot of sugar. Um,
Yeah.
what would you leave the world with today if this was the first time they've ever seen you? And
Mm.
what do you want them to take away?
The takeaway would be you got swag, stream Soloki music, and buy the dip.
All right, thank you. No, I mean that sounds awesome. I don't have swag, but I'm going to try to work on it. I'm going to work on it over time. The only thing I've got is um, the friends I made along the way. So,
Important.
yep, yep. Well, thanks for being on. I don't know if I'll do another honeycomb anytime soon, but I'd love to have you back.